Hello, I'm Director Bang Ji-seong, the hair wizard who protects your hair. It's nice to see you. Looking at the hair follicle structure, you'll see the hair root at the very bottom and then the main body of the follicle, right? The part of the hair that's visible outside the skin. Engraftment happens in the part below. For engraftment to take place, this stem or the hair itself must shed. It has to fall out once. After it sheds, a new one has to grow from within. The scalp exists, so a hair follicle is inserted there by whatever means. It's inserted deep, about 3 to 4 millimeters. Once it's in, this little guy takes a look at its new surroundings. So if it thinks, this spot feels right, it seems to instantly make changes. What changes occur? Hair follows a specific cycle. Some hairs are actively growing, some are stopping their growth, and others are preparing to shed. So we call these the anagen, catagen, and telogen phases. Most hair is in the anagen phase. Anagen hairs are numerous, while catagen or telogen hairs are very few. However, for individuals experiencing some hair loss, a significant portion of their hair enters this telogen phase, essentially poised and ready to shed. If that proportion rises to 10–20% and the hair isn't actively growing or increasing in thickness, then the area will inevitably appear relatively sparse. Ideally, transplanting only anagen phase hair would be best. But honestly, that's technically difficult and not very easy, is it? Frankly, it's not easy to tell them apart when they're so small. So we transplant based on the condition of the hair root. If the root of that transplanted hair decides to live in its new spot, it immediately enters the telogen phase. Whether it's an anagen, catagen, or telogen hair, once it's transplanted and decides to live there, it immediately enters the telogen phase. The term's a bit complex, but some call it a modified telogen phase. It then transitions into a stage where it's waiting to shed. In that very process, this hair root, needing to ensure its own survival, works to actively create blood vessels and nerves. And in that process, the hair root finds itself in a situation where it must sacrifice the existing hair shafts and hair it possessed. They have to make a decision. Okay, it's the telogen phase now, so within about 2 weeks to a month, we'll let go of this current hair and create a new one in its place. Yes, that's precisely what happens. Therefore, once hair has been transplanted, it absolutely must undergo a shedding process. When engraftment is successful and shedding happens quickly after the transplant, the later growth, texture, thickness, and speed are all much better. Therefore, if the transplanted hair has shed just once in its new position and successfully navigated that initial phase, it will firmly establish itself there and continue to grow vigorously. We estimate it can regenerate a minimum of 20 to 30 times. So don't overcomplicate things. If the surgery goes smoothly, after just 2 or 3 days, you'll be in a good state where you won't need to fret excessively. Today, I've briefly explained the process of how transplanted hair achieves engraftment. I hope to see you again soon with more great information. Thank you.